think it affects the Hurricanes, offensive flow in that Joel Friesen took 9 3-balls with them yesterday. He was 3 for 9. Does that mean they dribble penetrate more than rely on the 3? See if that changes their offense. That's how they start tonight.
Absolutely, and with that tip, we're off. Halifax with the first possession of this ball game. Billy White working inside, and White with the soft touch. That's a mismatch for Billy White. Akeem Scott for 3, and that is off. Cliff Clinkscales with a long outlet pass. Nice catch and spin by Kyle Hunt.
What an exciting start.
Tonight on a Monday night, they're here for Game 7. It's do or die, and there's a lot of excitement in this Scotiabank Center.
I was about to say how good the outlet pass was by Clinkscales on the last play, and London achieving those type of effect this weekend, this home set against the Hurricanes.
Here is Cameron Bennerman, who replaced Friesen in the starting lineup. Billy White for 3, and that is good. Billy it up. Finds Hunt on the block. Hunt, mismatch against Warren Ward, drives right and gets it to go in the lane. Again, we see the Hurricanes looking to
the game, whether he's just running his role in the offense or finishing himself.
Inside touch for Kyle Hunt, yet again, battling with Maxwell and finishes with that right hook. The board.
Ryan Anderson was also working hard early in that possession, getting in the front of Kyle Hunt. They couldn't get it in there.
Warren Ward has his attempt deflected right back to him, and he knocks down a short jumper in the lane.
Then there's no rest for these Lightning players when the Hurricanes make their substitutions. He's a starter quality player on any team in this league.
Billy White catches and finishes. Clinkscales definitely
hard at the rim in the last play. He had to get tripped up by Scott.
Scott now dishes to Maxwell, attacks the basket, can't finish, but Garrett Williamson attacking the offensive glass. Williamson now with 7.
Offensive rebounds starting to be a factor here for the Lightning.
Mike Glover now with his first basket inside. You can expect to see a lot of that.
Keeps the energy up for the Hurricanes.
Ed Horton on the right wing. Sends it over to Keeby, off to Anderson. Quick trigger on the 3, and Ryan Anderson. Well, he doesn't need very long with the
win away from the finals.
As Bowdry misses them both, but Kevin Loisel with a big offensive board. Justin Johnson lines up a 3 and gets it to drop. Justin Johnson picking up Corey. Glover on the block. Battling with Maxwell for position. Back out to Clinkscales, pulls the trigger on a 3, and he gets it to go. Well, we talked about it. Cliff Clinkscales.
Scott got in there.
Turnover on the inbounds from Clinkscales. Williamson, here comes Maxwell, and he finishes with the reverse. Not quite the explosive fire. And this quarter, on a positive note, Scott off to Williamson, to Maxwell. That is just such a great play, and Steven Maxwell is a
near Jim. Halifax can't afford to keep giving that up. That's a major factor.
And here's Williamson, drives baseline, big denial by Billy White, but Johnny on the spot, Steven Maxwell able. Here's Clinkscales looking for White. White with that mismatch against Garrett Williamson, gets him to the ground, cross court to Bennerman for 3, and Cameron Bennerman. Well, he is Scott, the floor general, the heart and soul of this Lightning organization. Williamson now, he's going to take the baseline jumper, and he knocks it down. 12 points now.
That's his second personal as well, so the guards in the backcourt there for the Lightning in a little bit of foul trouble.
Clinkscales and Billy White get it to go that time. That is well short. Ends up in the hands of Cliff Clinkscales. Long outlet. Connects with Billy White. Great catch, adjustment, and finish by Billy.
That's a good pin screen there from Maxwell to Spring Ward. Got to knock that down.
Shane Gibson puts it up. His first shot of the game is a long 2.
Keemwright with a heavy armbar that time. Gets called for the foul. That's London's 4th.
Glover turns it over. Here comes Nick O'Corey with a little showtime for the fans. And I'm sure he'll be back shortly. And, well, they need him. He's already got 13 points to lead the Lightning. Anderson in the right corner, catch and shoot, and knocks down another of the NBL Canada Championship Finals. Warren Ward, the Canadian Player of the Year, off to Akeem Wright. Oh, beautiful spin and finish around Kyle Hunt. What a take by Akeem Wright.
I'll tell you what Akeem Wright's doing is he's making a little more contact with the guard that he's screening, forcing Kyle Hunt.
Sorry to interrupt.
They're going to have to clean up the turnovers after that timeout. We'll see that. But the defensive end, they're hanging in there. 36 point for the Lightning. They're holding them down.
Warren Ward for 3, and what a response from London. Here comes Halifax and Justin Johnson. Johnson, shake and bake, turns. What a move by Justin Johnson in the key. Finish no good. Anderson comes the other way. Off to Akeem Scott with a burst of steam, looking for Williamson, back to Maxwell, and what a finish that time by Stephen Maxwell. The clink scales, he's going to slow it down, set something up. Back to Johnson. Dixon in the high post, looking for Hunt in the low post, and Hunt catches and finishes. Kyle Hunt just too tall for the London defenders.
Great job by Kyle Hunt. He kept that ball up in the diamond position, right at his chin, had his elbows out. No one was going to steal that. High finish.
Williamson with a tough take and finish. 15 now for Garrett Williamson. He is really feeling it today. Had just 9 yesterday, but 15 in the first half for the St. Joseph's product. What a finish. Johnson decides against it. Waits for the screen from Capers. Great active hands by Ronaldo Dixon, and what a pass by Clinkscales to Dixon for the flush, and the crowd goes. Hurricanes crowd smells blood with a 3-point lead under a minute remaining in the first half. Dixon, long two, knocks it down. Well, talk about production off the bench for Johnson with the ball at the top of the key. Makes a move on Anderson, pulls the three, and that one will roll in. What a shot, used every part of the rim. Averages over 16 on the season.
You know, Shane Gibson had a little bit of a quiet night yesterday by his standards. He had 11 points. He's an assassin out there.
But the Hurricanes go
so active on the boards on both ends of the court, putting a lot of pressure on the Hurricanes, trying to block them out, a lot of clutching and grabbing.
And a nice shot, the three by Warren.
Hurricanes have been doing both nights when they've achieved success. That was a force from three.
As Ryan Anderson open from three, and you can count that one. Ryan Anderson, the knockdown. Passionate guy. He radiates passion and excitement, and here comes Stephen Maxwell. Talk about excitement in the open court. What a layup by Stephen Maxwell. You see Gibson.
Hurricanes, they got to get something downhill. If you're going to kick it out, make sure it's a clean one. Dixon hesitant on this three.
Yeah, but Dixon pulls the trigger and knocks it down. Absolutely, as the Hurricanes on the other way. Bennerman lines up a three, and he hits that one. Cam Bennerman, if at first you don't succeed, try again. Now 6-6 on the shot clock. Gonna have to get something up. Clinkscales drives, puts it up. Can't get it to go, but Kyle Hunt is. As Maxwell stripped by Hunt. Bennerman up to Dixon, and the crowd goes wild. 6 minutes remaining in the third quarter of Game 7. Nice pass off to Maxwell, and yet another incredible finish right into the body of Kyle Hunt. Kicks it out to Bennerman, and they'll reset with 8 on the shot clock. Johnson, defended by Ward, pulls the trigger on the long two and gets it to drop. Justin Johnson just so deadly off the dribble.
Yeah, great rhythm, got his dribble with the left hand, but where's Williamson once again? This guy is lightning down the wing, increasing their pressure on Justin Johnson. One-on-one coverage now for Hunt.
Hunt kicks it out to Bennerman, pulls the trigger on a three, and Cameron Bennerman feeling good after seeing one drop. Now defended by Clinkscales on that left corner. Scott kicks it to O'Corey for three, and that is good. A little bit too much space for Nick
On the ropes, they hit a veteran shot. That time it was 3 from O'Corey.
As Dixon drives, takes the contact, and finishes.
For Ronaldo.
Well, Ronaldo is players in this league. Scott catches the inbound, looking for a screen, kicks it off to O'Corey, the hot hand from three, and he knocks. Actually, they're going to call that a long two. Foot on in for Glover, the beast. Glover rejected by Capers, and Ed Horton brings it the other way. Horton finds Akeem Wright with the lane. Beautiful delivery by Ed Horton to O'Corey. Baseline, good ball movement by the Lightning. Akeem Wright with an open three. Can't get it to go, but Nick O'Corey is there for the putback. The Lightning continue to bring this full court pressure.
No one in the middle of the court for the Hurricanes to pass the ball to and press attack.
But what a shot by Justin Johnson. Able to absolutely, we saw the Hurricanes with a big 11-0 run to end the second quarter. Here is Akeem Scott, kicks to O'Corey, the hot hand, and he continues. That's 11 points in this third quarter. Formed by the Lightning. Look at this Lightning pressure D, and Nick O'Corey comes away with the Lightning. on the break. Marcus Capers with the jam, and it is a 1-point game.
Differential between game and shot clock. London going to go fast.
Akeem Scott, oh my goodness. Such quickness, able to get the rebound and finish. Are you kidding me? Akeem Scott.
Seconds, plenty of time to work here for London. Then you get it over half. Quick screen from right.
Horton off to Anderson, wide open from three, splash. Ryan Anderson.
Make him miss some shots and stay aware of a guy like Ryan Anderson who can also make you pay.
Williamson with it now. Off to Capers, the big dunk, and the momentum continues for the London Lightning with it. Going up against right. Johnson looking to stop the bleeding for the Hurricanes. Johnson drives, takes the contact, and finishes. Justin Johnson has been tremendous possession deficit.
Well, that wasn't the execution London was looking for. Corey just dribbling out at one shot, no pass.
Back to the hot hand, Johnson, and is he ever hot? Justin Johnson. Glover gets the rebound. Glover's been quiet for Halifax with only 4 points. What a crossover by Justin Johnson. Baseline jumper. My goodness. Justin Johnson in with 8:47 remaining. Coach Lopez continuing to trust his guys. Williamson on the dribble handoff, drives, finishes, and one. Garrett Williamson.
He said, I'm going to punch it in there. And despite the gap Halifax is giving him, he's still making something happen.
It's 94-91, and Cliff Blinks. Yeah, nice defensive board there by Anderson. And here's Akeem Wright working on Dixon, drives. Wow, what a take. Akeem Wright flips it over the taller Dixon.
Right. Sky to get that one well.
Maxwell over to Wright. Wright drives baseline and finishes right through Ronaldo Dixon. And off to Williamson. Williamson has been great attacking the basket all night long. Swings it to Maxwell. Lefty floater in the lane. Stephen Maxwell.
Tough shot. I didn't think that had much of a chance of going in out. He barely saw the rim, but soft touch.
But Justin Johnson, so explosive off the dribble.
Credit to Halifax's D.
It's Justin Johnson. Expect him to take this shot. No, he kicks it out. Shane Gibson 4-3 when it matters most. Shooter Shane Gibson comes through.
Get yourself within that range. Johnson was in jail on the sideline and turned it over.
Here comes Akeem Scott. Oh my, what a attempt. Couldn't finish, but Stephen Maxwell is there to.
Justin Johnson starting on the right wing. See when the ball comes to him.
Here it is. Johnson with 34 points. The ball in his hands. Drives hard and finishes between Capers and Maxwell.
Capers is going to use his length to block it, but a good finish. Capers in the ball screen now.
Scott drives. Off to Capers. The big dunk.
Marcus Capers.
It's back to a 3-point game. London with the pressure. Halifax has to get it over, and Justin Johnson does. Johnson finds Gibson. Gibson 4-3. Dagger. Shane Gibson, the shooter. NBL Canada Championship.
Little wheel play here for Anderson. He's denied by Johnson.
Williamson into Capers. That's a quick two. That's what you want. It's now a
great, but if you watch the context of the game, he's been absolutely clutch.
London looking for one last basket. Ryan Anderson lobs to Maxwell. Maxwell. Tough finish on the left side. In Game 7 of the finals. Talk about clutch.
And people said, are we not starting Justin Johnson? Doesn't matter. He came in as the sixth man and did that.
Garrett Williamson finishes it on the other end. That's 20. Ronaldo Dixon. It will be London ball. There is 0.9 seconds on the clock. And this crowd knows it's time to celebrate. And here, that is the final horn. The Halifax Hurricanes are your 2016 National Basketball League of Canada champions. 125 to 117. Balloons rain down. The fans are going crazy. And yes, fans, we will have the trophy presentation here from the Scotiabank Centre.